All right. So this is what we have discussed yesterday. Okay. So this is how it is going to be every day before we start our next session. Okay. We'll just have a slight recap of what we have discussed already. Okay. So these are the topics on which we have discussed yesterday. That is on how a test case document looks like. Okay. What are the test scenarios in real time? How a live application works. That is for the we took the example of SpiceShip. All right. So and then test case execution manually. We have seen that sheet. Okay. Let me open that. So this is the test case document that we were talking about. Okay. So these are the test scenarios. Okay. These are the different test scenarios that we have. All right. So how does a live application work? Okay. That is, let us take this spiceshare.com for example. So every application, okay, whichever application that you are going to work on in future, okay, we should always understand that the testing would be segregated into two parts. That is, one would be the functional testing and the other one would be non-functional testing. Okay. No, I am not able to hear you. Maybe you're on mute and you're talking. Okay. So is there anything that you want to say? Any doubts? Yesterday we had a slide demo. Okay. Yesterday, I hope this is your first class. Okay, so I think that this is your first session. So yesterday we had a small demo. All right. Yeah, yesterday we had a small demo. That is the overview which I'm giving today. All right. So if you look at it, this is the sheet. Okay, that we are going to maintain for all the day-to-day topics. All right. So yesterday these are the topics that we have covered. Everything is theory related. Okay, we have still not stepped into the actual concepts. Okay, so you do not have to worry about it. Anyways, our technical team will also give you the recording of what just happened yesterday, and I am going through the recap of what has happened yesterday so that you are not going to miss anything. All right. And this is the second day. All right, yesterday was the first day and this is the second day for the demo. Okay, so yeah, I also see that this is the first session for Gokulnath as well. Okay, I don't think yesterday Gokulnath has joined, so this would be his first session. So yes, Gokul, any a small introduction about yourself, like what is your previous background and what is your previous experiences? Are you completely new to testing, or you have some programming experience, or how is it? Are you there? Yeah, yeah. Please go on.
Yeah, I have completed my BTech IT 2017 batch, fresher.
Oh,
I have
okay.
some knowledge theory wise in software testing, or no, I don't have any practical knowledge about Selenium.
Okay, so you do not have any previous work experience. Am I right? Okay, okay. That's good. Okay, so not a problem. All right. So why I actually ask each and every student on what their previous experiences are is because that is how I'm going to frame my sessions going forward. Okay, I want to understand from where each and every background is from or for the students, so that if some are good in programming, okay, some might not be good in programming. So that is how I design my course content. All right. So coming to automation, what are the things you need to know as part of automation testing? Okay, so for automation testing you need to know little concepts about manual testing as well. Okay, so if people are telling you that for automation you do not need any manual testing concepts, then that is not correct. Okay, so for automation testing you need some amount of manual testing concepts also. So those testing concepts regarding to manual testing also will be covered as part of this session. And what else do you require as part of automation testing? Forget about Selenium. For any automation testing, okay, you will be using a tool, and the tool would require a programming language. All right. So for Selenium here, we are going to use Java as the programming language. All right. And when I say Java, okay, many people will have that programming fear internally, especially for those who are new to the programming experience. Okay, they might think that this is going to be very tough and my programming skills are not very good. Okay, so trust me, personally I have an experience of over 6 years in automation right now. Okay, and I have been into different organizations, and I started my career as a functional tester. When I say functional tester, I started my career as a manual test engineer. Okay, so from manual I have moved to automation, so I understand what exactly is required, okay, for someone who's new to programming, to learn the concepts of programming and what are the essential things that are required as part of programming for you to work with Selenium. All right. So core Java is a very huge topic. Okay, if you pick up core Java textbook, okay, or if you pick up a Java textbook, if you go through the chapters, it is very huge. It is like an ocean. So in that entire ocean, we should know from where to start and where to end. Okay, that is important. Why? Because you can never you can never complete entire Java. You can never master entire Java. Even people with 6 or 7 years of experience, if you ask them about Java, if they know each and every topic, they'll say no. Why? Because Java always has something new to learn. Okay. So what we should do is we should not try to learn Java as a whole. So we'll get lost. If you try to do that, you'll get lost. Okay, so that is the reason I have created few set of core Java fundamentals that are going to be as part of our course. So if you learn just these fundamentals, and we are going to concentrate only on these fundamentals that I have mentioned in our course content. Okay, so if you go through and if you learn these core Java fundamentals, then we will be able to perform any scenario as part of Selenium. All right. So, and I will make sure that you will understand each of the core Java fundamental that I have mentioned here from the scratch. Okay, without any issues. Okay, why? Because I'll start directly from the entry level. All right. So, if you have zero programming knowledge, also you do not have to worry. I'll pick it up from there. But what I require from you is constant practice. Okay, as I said in my course, okay, how would be the teaching structure would be, that is the day-to-day activities of our course, how it is going to be in Selenium. Okay, it would be very interactive session. Okay, so I would be asking questions throughout the session. All right, it is not just going to be like an storytelling session. I'm not just going to keep reading content and you're not just going to listen and sit. Okay, so whatever I'm discussing on, I'll be asking frequent questions. And as you can see, I will have a dedicated email ID for each batch like this. Okay, and as soon as I start programming, okay, I will upload the program of that particular day. I will create a Google Drive. Okay, and I'll be sharing all the contents related to Selenium in this Google Drive. All the notes which are related to Selenium will go under this notes section. Okay, so and all the scripts that we are going to practice on day-to-day basis will go in the Selenium scripts folder. So each day, okay, I will work on one program. Okay, and I will give an example program which is going to be similar to the program we have worked on that particular day, that you are going to send it to me as an assignment. Only if I receive that as an assignment, I am going to begin with the next day session. All right, why? Because initially since we will be new to programming, okay, and we are new to this testing concept as an automation tool also, practice is very important. Without that you cannot achieve, okay, the agenda of this course. Definitely after this course, what is our motto? Our motto is to secure a job. Okay, either it can be a switch you are making internally within the organization, or you are trying to look for a job, you have completed your graduation, or you are trying to look for a job. Ultimately our motto is to work with what we are learning. Okay, so to get the job, okay, in Selenium, okay, what do you need? You also need some real-time experience. Real-time experience means, it means the knowledge that you are going to secure, that what happens exactly in the industries with Selenium, that knowledge you need. Okay, so our course is again going to be aiming at real-time expertise only. Okay, like how scripts are actually maintained in organizations. Okay, how are they actually going to use frameworks in organizations? As you can see, we also have all the frameworks that are mostly used, okay, mostly widely used by all the organizations. We are going to cover all the frameworks that are widely used by the organizations. Okay, so once you are done with this course, okay, I am sure that you can easily claim 2 years of work experience in Selenium. All right, you can just straight away walk into any interview and tell them that I have already worked with 2 years with Selenium in an organization. That is how the confidence levels would be after this particular course. Okay, we are going to discuss everything in terms of real time. Yes, if you go through the course content, okay, so I hope you have this course content file. Okay, if not, we will be sharing it with you shortly. As you can see here, we will also be discussing about what is continuous integration and continuous deployment model. Okay, CI/CD module. How do you integrate? Okay, with Jenkins. What is SVN? Why we are going to actually use SVN in the organizations? What is Ant and Maven? What is build management tools? Okay, all the additional concepts are also covered. Okay, deploying the scripts and converting the source scripts into executable file. All this you are going to see as part of this course. Yeah. So yeah, what about you, Monica? So do you have any previous experience in testing, or are you even a BTech graduate? If you have any previous experience, please share it with us. Are you entirely new for testing, or are you working? Yeah. All right. Okay. So you do have work experience, but that is not related to IT. All right. Fine. Okay. So I believe Chandana has already joined the yesterday's session, so it is not new for her. Okay. So now going back. Okay, that is really going to help you out in this. All right. So if you have the fundamental knowledge, that is always very good. All right. Anyways, so in this session, as I said now, what are all that we are going to cover? I will take you through the course content once again for those who have not joined yesterday. Okay. So in the course content, as you can see, you are going to look at the introduction of what automation is, why exactly we are doing automation. Okay. This is not related, this is not specific to any tool, but this is specific, this is regarding automation as a process. It can be any tool, but why are we actually using automation in testing? What is the advantages if you go for automation? All right. And then introduction to Selenium. From here, we are going to talk about our tool Selenium. All right. What is Selenium? Okay. What is the use of Selenium? Okay. When can be Selenium useful for testing? Features of Selenium. Okay. There are different tools available in market, not just Selenium. We have to understand that there are many tools which can do the task of what Selenium is doing. That is automating your manual process. There are many tools out there. But why is Selenium famous? Why each organization is trying to move towards Selenium? That we are going to see in this section of differences between Selenium and Qtp. Qtp is the only tool currently in the market which is competing with Selenium. Alright, Qtp is the only tool in the market currently which is competing with Selenium. Qtp is also called as UFT. The latest version of Qtp is called as now UFT. Alright, so we'll see the difference between the both and we'll understand how Selenium is superior over this tool called UFT. Alright, and then coming to the different components of Selenium. That is Selenium, we have Selenium ID, Selenium RC, okay, Selenium Webdriver and Selenium Grid. Alright, these are the different components of Selenium. Okay, that is the 4 different components of Selenium that which we are going to discuss in our sessions going forward. So what are these last 2 components, Selendroid and APM? Selendroid and APM are components of Selenium, but those are related to mobile automation. Okay, so in our course we are not going to discuss anything about mobile automation. Okay, so our course is going to entirely concentrate on web application automation. Okay, when I say web application automation, anything that is going to open in your browser, okay, will be treated as automation. For example, this google.com, spicechat.com, all right, all these are called as web applications. Okay, so next, configuration of IDE and IDs. That is next, we are going to talk about each and every component, as you can see. Okay, first component would be ID. So we will be discussing about ID and how to install ID and all that. No, web services, okay, has something to do with APIs, that is SOAP and REST. Okay, so Selenium is used only for web application automation. Selenium tool will not be used for web services automation. Okay, so our course, okay, is only going to deal with Selenium as a tool. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to do functional automation. That is, we are going to test the web applications. Okay, so we are not going to cover web services as part of this course. That is entirely a different concept. Okay, so after talking about ID, we'll move on to the next components. Okay, that is Selenium Webdriver. Our main focus would be on this particular component, Selenium Webdriver. Why? Because Now each and every organization currently using Selenium Webdriver to automate their web applications. Okay, so we are going to throw a lot of focus on this particular component, as you can see. And what about RC? If you ask me, RC was the previous version before WebDriver. Okay, people were using RC to automate the web applications, but now no longer people are using RC. RC is deprecated. Deprecated means it is no longer in use. It is an older version. Now the newer version is WebDriver. Okay, so let us just look at few examples of RC also. Just one example, maybe that is enough. Just to understand what is the difference between RC and the WebDriver scripts. Okay, and what are the changes that have been brought to WebDriver from RC. All right, and then Selenium Grid. We will also be discussing about what Selenium Grid is also. Okay, so then once we cover all the components of Selenium, we will also have a discussion and understanding on what frameworks are, okay, and how to build the frameworks from the scratch. Okay, so after this course you will be able to create your own design your own frameworks. Okay, so why we are actually using frameworks, what are the different frameworks available, how to execute the scripts from a framework, and all that we are going to understand. So before entering into Selenium, you need some core Java expertise. Why? Because each Selenium script is built on core Java concepts. Yes, after each session, every day, this video will be recorded and these sessions will be sent to you. Alright, every day's session video recording will be sent to you. So, sessions will be recorded, don't worry, and those recordings will be given to you. You can go through the recordings. Okay? Yeah. So before entering into Selenium scripting, as I said, you need some core Java fundamentals for understanding of how Selenium scripts are going to work. So those core Java fundamentals will be covered as part of this segment, as you can see. Then you have the other popular frameworks that are being used, okay, in the market, that is JUnit and framework for the Selenium. Okay, and how to create and test data object repository. You will understand what this object repository and what role it plays in frameworks. Okay, we'll cover those topics also. And then additional topics. No, Java is different and JavaScript is different. Okay, so Java is a program, both are different programming languages. Okay, so we are going to deal with Java, not with JavaScript. Okay, to understand the difference. And then additional concepts. We are also going to discuss about additional concepts like actions, okay, and how to use Ant and Maven, what are build management tools, how to develop the scripts and convert the scripts with .exe files into SRCs, and all those additional concepts and advanced concepts also we'll discuss about how this is actually very important. Why? Because this is where you gain the actual knowledge. Okay, so nowadays people in organizations are looking for someone with already good real-time exposure on how Selenium is working in the organizations. Why? Because that is when you will get adjusted faster to the Selenium environment in organizations. That is, you should know how the scripts are maintained in real time. Okay, how a company would maintain the scripts, how they are integrated with SVN. Okay, what is CI/CD model? Okay, how their integration with Jenkins is done, how to execute a program from Jenkins. So they are expecting all this from a candidate. Okay, so I'm going to cover each and every topic that would be helpful for you in regards to interview. Okay, my focus is going to be on that part. As you can see, I have also designed, I have been in many interview panels, luckily, okay, throughout these years, and I have framed all those necessary required questions onto this Selenium interview questions booklet. So this is going to help you a lot. That is, before any interview, if you refer to this particular interview question, I suggest you read all the interview questions without even leaving out a single topic in it, and it is going to help you out a lot in the interview sessions. Okay, so I have framed what are all the different interview questions here. Okay, and I have also prepared resumes, sample resumes, which you can use based on the experience that you are going to claim. That is, it might be 1 year, 2 years, or it might be a fresher resume. All the patterns and templates are already created. Okay, these are going to help you a lot. And all the different materials which are related to core Java. Okay, core Java material is here, Jenkins material is here, manual testing material document will be given to you. Okay, everything that is going to support Selenium is documented, and these documented materials will be given to you. They'll be uploaded onto the drive as I showed you here, and I will be sharing you the drive. Once the demo sessions are done, okay, I will be sharing the drive access with you guys so that you can access the drive on daily basis. All right. So this is how our course structure is going to be. Okay. So now let us get back to all the topics of what we have discussed yesterday. So as I said, I was showing how a test case document is going to look like. Okay, this is the test case document that we were discussing on. The test case document is related to the SpiceJet application. So here is the SpiceJet application. Okay, so and the different test scenarios. These are the different types of test scenarios that we have. And we also saw how a live application is going to work. Okay, test case execution manually. How to execute the test cases manually. So how manual execution is actually done. So if you look at a scenario, try to read this scenario and go through the test steps. Okay, you are going to, what is this test steps telling? Let us take the first test case as an example. Okay, so what is the test step telling? Check the spelling, font, color and color. Check the content of the web page. And our expected result should maintain consistency. So then manual test engineer will first read the test case. Okay, then he will open the application. He will check for the alignment. Everything is proper or not. If the font is correct or not. The color correction is correct or not. Okay, I feel that everything is good with the web page. Yeah, coming to this process on who will write the test cases, right? There are two factors. Before you start automation, definitely you need test cases. Why? Because automation process, the process of automation, if you look at the first line of the material, the process of converting the manual test cases to test scripts with the help of some automation tool is called automation. So what we are going to do, all these are called as manual test cases. All these are called as manual test cases. So before automating your organization, there will be, if your organization is a bigger organization which you are going to go into, definitely there will be manual test engineers who are going to work on the application before you automate it. So coming to this test case document, right? So this test case document, whenever they ask you to automate it, already you should have a test case document. Document is not there. I hope you guys are able to hear my voice now without any issues. So now coming to the test case document, right? We were discussing about the test case document. So this test case document will be given to you by the manual test engineers. Manual test engineers will be already working on the application. So if this is SpiceJet is the application, manual test engineers will be working on this application and they will create all the test case scenarios. Those documented test case document is what is going to help you for automation. So without scenarios, without manual test scenarios, you cannot automate any scenario. Okay, that is the reason one round of manual testing will always be done on the application. Only when you do the first round of manual testing on your application, you have to conclude that the application is working fine, and only then you will move for automation. That is why if you look at the notes here, in the advantages we say we can save the test execution time for regression time, that is regression testing time. So you will not directly start off testing with automation. Okay, understand the process here. When an application is given to you for testing, you will not start off with automation directly. No, first you have to design a test case document, which is important. In that test case document, you will have all the test scenarios related to automating that particular application. So only with the help of the test case document, you will be able to convert the test cases into test scripts. Okay, now the question was whether we will create the test case document or will we have the test case document with us. That depends on the organization. In some organizations, okay, they will expect you to do both manual testing and automation testing both by yourself. That is, we have to create the test case document, we have to frame all the test scenarios, and we have to design the test case document first, execute all those test cases manually, and then gradually we have to convert them into automation. So our task would be creating this document And after this, gradually, once all these test cases are passing in manual testing, then we will move with automation. Got it? So it depends upon organization. If it is a smaller organization, they are definitely not going to have enough resources for few people to take care of manual testing and a few people to take care of automation. They will not have the headcount like that. But if your organization is a big organization, obviously you will have individual testing teams. That is one team who looks after manual testing and another team who looks after automation testing. Okay, so this is how it is going to be in real time. You may either have to do both. You might have to create the test case document by yourself and you have to automate it gradually, or you will have the test case document given to you by the manual test engineers. And once if they give you the manual test case document, you have to go through it, understand what are all the test cases that can be automated, and you have to start automating it. So this is the process that happens in real time. All right. So now what next? We have seen the introduction to Selenium, why we are actually using Selenium as a tool, and what are the advantages of Selenium, and what is functional and non-functional testing. As I said, Selenium is a functional automation tool. What is functional testing? Okay, so anything that appears to the end user is nothing but the functional part. Okay, so this application we are building it for the end user ultimately. End user means us, who is someone who is not related to the business. So we are building an application. Why are we building an application? So that the people outside the market can consume it. That is, apart from developers and testers, the developers and testers are not going to use this application in real time. Who are the people who are going to use it? They are end users. That is when it releases into the market. Okay, common man. Okay, everyone who is not aware of this application will also be using this. Okay, so all the functionalities and everything should be user friendly. Why do you have this term called user friendly? Why? Because anyone who might not know how to use this application also should be able to easily understand what are the different options are there for. That is why we have to make it user friendly. Okay, so basically functional testing means UI. Okay, so what is this user friendly and all that? From where you can judge all these factors whether the application is user friendly or not, by looking at the UI. Okay, so everything that is if the testing is related to UI. Okay, that is UI means an interface which you can see. Okay, so this entire testing, if you're testing this entire UI, then that is called as functional testing. But tell me, every application has something running in the background. That is, from where are we getting all these options? If I click on this drop down now, I'm able to see all this contents, right? From where are I getting these contents? All these contents will be stored in the database, in the backdrop. Okay, that we are not able to see. It is not visible for the end user. What happens in the database is not visible for the end user. Okay, so all that is backend testing. And if I click on a link here, now for example, now I'm clicking on this about us, okay, or contact us. I'm clicking on this particular corporate head office. It is taking us to a different web page. How long it took us to take us from one page to another page? All that is performance issues. That is, after you click on something, how long is the response time? Okay, so all this is performance issues. So all this is not visible to our eyes. It happens in the background. So all this which is not visible to the eyes and which happens to the in the background is called as non-functional testing. And everything that we are able to, the end user is able to visualize and he is able to work on it is called functional testing. Okay, so testing is always segregated into two parts, functional and non-functional. So Selenium, what can Selenium do? Selenium cannot do non-functional testing automation. Okay, but Selenium can do functional automation. That is, it can automate the UI which you are able to see right now. Okay, it can automate web applications UI. Okay, so that is the reason Selenium is called as a functional automation tool, open source functional automation tool. And Selenium is open source. That is, it is not a licensed tool. Okay, so you do not have to pay anything to use Selenium. That is one of the reason why Selenium is very famous currently in the market. All right, and then we have different tools available for testing. So as you can see, there is a diagram here. So in this diagram, as I told you, Selenium is not the only tool with which you can achieve automation. Okay, there are other tools like Qtp, WinRunner, Simtest, RFT, Water and Pattern. But in all these tools, Selenium is the superior right now. Superior tool for web application automation right now. Okay, but there are also other tools. But why Selenium is superior? That we are going to see in the difference section, right? In the differences section below, you have difference between Selenium and Qtp. So in this section, you will understand why Selenium is superior over other tools. And this is non-functional testing part. So we are not going to discuss anything about non-functional testing. Our entire concentration is going to be on functional testing. Okay. So there are other tools for automating non-functional testing also, like load runner, JMeter, web load, and neoload. All right. So this is all that we have discussed about the topics in the yesterday's session. Okay, so from going forward, what we will do is we will take up from what we have to discuss. So from the next session, what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss about the difference between Selenium and Qtp, why Selenium is the most powerful tool compared to the other tools. Okay, and what is feasibility analysis? That is, when you look at a test case document, all right, all the test cases cannot be automated. Okay, why? Because this test case document is designed and developed for manual testing. Okay, all the test cases that you are able to perform manually cannot be automated. Few test cases cannot be automated in automation testing. So we will ignore such test cases. Okay, first before automation, what you will do feasibility analysis to study what are all the test cases that you can automate and what you cannot automate. Okay, so that we are going to do in this feasibility analysis. And then you will give the test script estimates. What is estimates? That is, after you do the feasibility analysis, you come up with a count that these many test cases can be automated. All right. So the count of how many test cases can be automated in how many number of days has to be provided by you before you start automating. That is called as test script estimates. That is how long the automation procedure can take for you. So based on that, the manager will take a decision. Okay. So do we really have that much amount of time for automation? If yes, then you can proceed with it. If not, if they say that no, we cannot afford that much time, the automation has to be completed sooner. Then what they will do, they will either recruit more resources to finish the task in less number of days, or they will ask you to automate only the important, most priority test cases first. Okay, so that is the reason why you have to give the test script estimates. Why? Because each project will have deadline, right? You cannot take 30 days if the deadline is only 20 days. Okay, so based on the deadlines, the manager and the higher authorities will be, your leads will be taking a call. That is the reason they ask you to provide the test script estimates. Okay, so going forward, we will discuss on all the other topics that are present as part of this Selenium. Okay, so our next session will be on Wednesday, that is on 9th August, 9th of August. All right. So at the same time, 9th of August, we shall have our next session. Okay, guys, any other doubts before we wind up today? All right, Monica. I hope I will see everyone, each and every one of you. Okay, in our next session that is on 9th of August. All right. Yeah. Thanks for
So,
joining. You can go through the recordings before you join the next sessions. All right. So you will have the recording of both the sessions, the previous session which happened and this session. They will be sent to you. So please go through the recordings. Right. Yeah. If you have
hello.
any, you can ask me. Yes. Go on.
So I see a lot of job descriptions asking for JavaScript as well. How important do you think is JavaScript for Selenium?
JavaScript for Selenium. Okay. JavaScripting, as I said, both are different. Okay. So there is
Yeah.
a tool called Protractor. Okay, there is a
Okay.
tool called Protractor which entirely depends upon JavaScript. Okay, there you're not
Okay.
going to use Java, you're going to use JavaScript. But Selenium, you will not use JavaScript as a whole. Okay, maybe in one or two scenarios you will use JavaScripting. But other than that, this JavaScript is not important. What is important is core Java fundamentals are important for Selenium scripting. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So don't
Okay.
worry about JavaScript. Okay, it is not something specific to Selenium. If you learn only JavaScript only, then you can automate Selenium. No, that is not the case. All right, you need Java. All right then. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys in the next session.